Well, we are thankful to be able to be in this great facility today, and I would like to welcome to the podium at this time Dr. Heather Howley, the Director of Regional Campuses at the University of Akron, to share a few remarks. Dr. Howley?
So welcome to the 107th State of the Chamber annual meeting. It is such a pleasure to host this event and share this experience with you. I just love seeing all of you in this space, sharing a meal. That's just so nice to see. So the theme today is moving ahead together, which I really love because it contains really three themes in one that encapsulate what our chamber is really about. So the rest of my remarks, which are not going to be long, I just want to give a thank you to our fantastic chamber for the great work they do to bring our community together, keep us on the move, and keep us thinking about the future. So whether it is through net walking, which is one of my favorite activities, which we are so pleased to be able to kick off right here in April, when the weather will be lovely and warm and it won't rain. It'll be wonderful. And we'll just make our way around the campus. To the wellness series aimed at improving our mental and physical health, to the various roundtables that allow us to connect and plan for the future. What I love about our chamber is there are just so many ways for us to connect, to share in community, to learn from one another, and to learn all of the great things that so many of you have to offer with your businesses and our nonprofits. So please join me in thanking Dan, Landry, and Michelle for all of their work in making Orrville such a great place to live, to work, and to flourish. So thank you to our chamber.
Thank you for those very kind words. We're excited by the great turnout today. Boy, you really turned out. This is exciting to see how many of you are responding to be a part of today's festivities. And we do have a couple more events that are coming up that you might be interested in this year. We'll be having our annual award celebration on May 18th. That is going to be taking place at the White Oaks Event Center. And we also will be holding our golf scramble on September 20th at Riceland Golf Course. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors who generously make possible having events like this, State of the Chamber. First off, I want to thank our Red Circle sponsor, the Commercial and Savings Bank. Also, I want to thank our Black Circle sponsors, the J.M. Smucker Company, Ventrac, and Wilbert, for being sponsors as well. And of course, I want to thank all of our inner circle table sponsors for being a part of today's event. At this time, I would like to introduce our past chair of our chamber board, Kristen Ensley, and she is going to introduce our board members and staff.
Thank you, Dan. It's my privilege to introduce to you the Orrville Area Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors for this year. Joining me on the executive committee are Board Chair Lexi Nussbaum of Jarrett, First Vice Chair Heather Ogie of Seaman Corp., and Second Vice Chair Jennifer Alsace of Quality Castings. Also serving on the board this year is Dr. Tracy Cook, Allium Naturopathic, Glenda Irvin, Layman's, Beth Gobatz, Tri-County ESC, Dave Hershey, Weaver Commercial Contractor, Pete Candace, Altman Orrville Hospital, John Nicholas, the J.M. Smucker Company, Josh Nolan, the Orrville Area Boys and Girls Club, Tony Rohr, Hummel Group, Brian Sayre, Sayre Hospitality Group, Dana Schauer, Wilbert Company, and finally Melissa Seibert Apple Creek Banking Company. I would also like to acknowledge our two outgoing board members, Joe Kennedy of Plume and Paper and Brian Troyer of Moog. Thank you for your service to the Chamber and our community. At this time, I would also like to recognize our amazing Chamber staff. When you have a question about your membership or services provided by the Chamber, you can certainly rely on Michelle Hedberg, our Membership Services Coordinator, for the answers. And when you're wanting to get the word out about your business or your special event, you can count on Landry McLeod, our Marketing and Communications Manager, to help. And you're probably all aware, we had a change in our Chamber's leadership last year. After a very extensive search, the Board of Directors chose Dan Franks to serve as our new President and CEO, and I think we made the right choice. So now Dan will present this year's State of the Chamber. Thank you.
So I know that some of you are aware that this is a difficult time for me today. Yesterday morning, my mom passed away. Now, my mom was a very strong and loving person, and if she were here, she would encourage me to go and do what I need to do. And today, that means being with you and sharing the state of the Chamber. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thank you. I have been president and CEO of the Chamber for nearly 5 months, and I appreciate the warm welcome that you have given me. To give you a little bit of a background of who I am, for those of you who don't know, well, I grew up in Smithville. I worked in radio at various different locations. Kansas, Kentucky, Columbus, Western Ohio is where my last station was at. I worked in a town called Union City, Ohio, and there was also a Union City, Indiana there. We were literally right on the state line. And Union City was most prosperous during the time that railroads were at their peak. They had a lot of industry that took advantage of the railroad coming through Union City. However, over the years, Union City began to struggle. And in fact, there was even a front page story in the Indianapolis Star saying how bad Union City, Indiana was. It was not a good Chamber moment. It was at that moment I decided something needs to be done. I lived in a town called Greenville, but I worked in Union City, and I said, we can't allow this to be our town. And began to connect with other business leaders and got involved with the Chamber. We had a small chamber, and this poor lady, part-time, just doing the best she could to tread water, really, to get by. And so when we just came around her and said, we would like to serve with you on this board, and I became the chairman of the Chamber Board of Union City. And we had some exciting things happen during that time. We updated their dues structure. We found new ways to support their fireworks display. We created a community-wide website, which included the Village of Union City, Ohio, the City of Union City, Indiana, and the Chamber of Commerce, all at one site. And then we also worked to establish an economic development committee. That committee worked with our local schools in developing an alternative energies program that would equip the students to be able to get jobs in those fields. Both wind and solar energies were utilized at the school, and that led them to not having to pay any energy bills. They are able to produce enough themselves. And in fact, they produced so much energy, they were able to make money by selling back the energy to the utilities. So education, finance, got the heating thing all taken care of. That was a real exciting project for us. Eventually, I came back to the area to work at the Christian Children's Home of Ohio, and I served as their Director of Development. And then I arrived here at the Orrville Area Chamber of Commerce. I've discovered, since I've been here, that there are various perspectives about what a Chamber of Commerce is. Now, for some reason, there's a lot of people who have this misperception that we're part of the city government. So let me just say this. If you're curious about when your road is going to be cleared of the snow, I'm not your man. I have no say in this whatsoever. That's a city thing. The Chamber is a nonprofit association of members. And the Chamber is more than just the staff located at 132 South Main Street. When we say Chamber of Commerce, we really mean the membership. As a staff, we're here to serve and represent the membership and our community as a whole. But the Chamber itself is really a body of members. And today, I'm going to be sharing with you how we are going to move ahead together. Moving ahead together means building on the successes of the organization and our members, responding to the challenges and changes we face while setting a bold path for the future. So first, let's just cover some of the basics. Chamber members have a wide range of savings programs available to you. We've been highlighting some of them through the PowerPoint that was playing during lunchtime. They range from saving on your workers' compensation program to free HR training, which can apply to SHRM and HRCI credits, to group health and prescription savings. Be sure to pick up on some of the materials that are of interest to you today. And of course, you can call us at the office if you'd like more information. That information is on the table as you exit out here this afternoon. We have a lot of things lined up for 2023 as we move ahead together. We are bringing back the HR Connections Roundtable. HR professionals will be able to interact with one another to help find solutions to the issues that they face on a day-to-day basis while learning about a specific topic that's being presented at that particular gathering. It also gives me an opportunity to more quickly learn from our members what they're dealing with and how we as a chamber can address those needs and concerns. While the Chamber already had a program that allowed members to walk and network with one another, this year we've increased our commitment to a Chamber Wellness Series. And to talk more about that is Chamber Board Member and VP of Operations at Altman Orrville, Pete Candace.
Thank you, Dan, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Pete Candace with Altman Orrville Hospital, but today I represent a very diverse and talented group that forms the Chamber's Wellness Committee, where we really hold one thing in high regard, and it's our number one priority, and that is the well-being of employees in our businesses here in Orrville. As we move forward, we want to make sure that we have a lot of opportunities to certainly help our employees. We have to ensure that they stay safe at all times. And throughout these past few years, as we've navigated through this pandemic, we have to understand that there's emotional and physical health that has certainly inched its way up our priority list. And what we want to do this year as businesses, whether you have a thriving wellness program or you have one that needs a refresh or a reboot, the Chamber can be that vehicle that creates access to new programs and events. We want to complement the great things that you already do. And let me explain a little further. This year in 2023, we have an event planned every single month. In January and February, we really kickstarted our wellness series with an education program on healthy living, on setting motivational goals, on the importance of fitness and strength training. And we really want to thank Bob Fratina from RipGen and our own Chamber's Lexi Nussbaum from Zephyr's Fitness on sharing their expertise and knowledge. In March, Altman Orrville Hospital will join Wilbert on a smoking cessation program. Registration will be coming out in a few weeks. All chamber members are welcome to join that event. And then once the sun hits, and as Dr. Howley stated, Exciting to kick off our net walking series, which will take place April through September. Kick off here at the college. Well, we have many different locations that we will have this event throughout the course of the year. It really is a great opportunity to network, to walk, to talk, to share stories, to share laughs with employees across our local businesses. And as we approach those dreadful Ohio winter months, we'll go back to our educational series and a lot of variety of topics. Our goal is to really complement all the great things that many of your businesses do when it comes to wellness. This year we are adding some new elements. We have a 2023 Chamber Wellness Series activity tracker. We mentioned that there's 12 events, but if your employees, Chamber members, join at least 8 of these events, they will be entered into a drawing for a prize. And then in 2024, at our annual awards ceremony, we will recognize the grand prize winner as well as the corporation that provides the most support. And you can show support in a variety of ways. You can certainly sponsor an event. You can show support by having individuals come to our planning committee. You can show support by joining our events and our programs. We certainly want to, I'd be remiss if I didn't state a sincere thank you to Wilbert and Team Chevrolet for being sponsors of our Wellness Series program, to all the businesses that have supported us in a multitude of ways, whether that is joining our events, joining our programs, or just sharing their resources so that we can plan these events. But we really look forward to complementing all the great things you do, and we want to be that vehicle, that resource that creates new access points for you. So please join us at our events. We appreciate all you do, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Pete. As Pete mentioned, our next Wellness Series event is March 16th at Wilbert, and we are going to have a smoking cessation as our topic. Now, we are doing that intentionally because we understand the concerns of the rising costs of insurance to our members, and this kind of class can help reduce those costs. So I absolutely encourage you to encourage your employees to be a part of that on March 16th at Wilbert. As we move ahead together, that means we won't be doing things all on our own. We will partner with others to bring the greatest good to our community. That's why I'm pleased to announce that we are joining with the Orrville United Way to conduct 2 days of caring taking place May 3rd and September 16th. This initiative will present work projects and needs of individuals and nonprofits in our community, and then provide our business community and members an opportunity to meet those needs on these specific days. Now, I want you to just imagine for a moment what it will be like for our community to come together and take on all these projects to help other people in our community. That is a powerful moment and will speak volumes to the quality of our community. So I know that many businesses have days that you commit to helping with community projects. So I would encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity to make a difference. There are other ways we are working with our members to help create member awareness of Chamber partner programs. The students at the Wayne County Schools Career Center are recording and will edit videos, which we will be sharing soon. For those of you who are not aware, you can provide opportunities for students at the Career Center through their work-based learning program, and you can contact Kristen Sampson. You can wave at everyone, Kristen. And she would be happy to help you. The Chamber is also working with NAMI of Wayne and Holmes counties to bring their Artists Among Us series to downtown Orrville, June 2nd through the 19th. This partnership highlights our downtown businesses and the artwork of local people who are in recovery with mental illness. NAMI will provide the easels, the art, and anything else that might be necessary. We only need interested businesses to provide some space. So if that speaks to you, something that you would like to be a part of, just connect with me and we'll make that happen. It's a great opportunity for us to do some good and also highlight our downtown. It's hard to move ahead together if you don't have media partners to help get the word out. So we are thankful for our chamber media members, Orrville and WQKT, for helping to create awareness of chamber activities and what is happening in our community. I would also like to thank Crossbridge for all their help with our websites, chamber videos, and overall marketing assistance. And of course, today's event is being recorded and will be airing on Armstrong Cable. There's a lot of great things to share about the Orrville area, and the Chamber is wanting to highlight our members in a different way on our website. Now, we will continue to provide our very valuable membership directory, but we're also working to develop another section that will highlight our local attractions. So the idea is for those who want to visit the Orrville area would be able to quickly access information that may be of interest to them. So for instance, if they have a sweet tooth, they may be able to click on a tab and all of a sudden there will be located for them things like the Orrville Creamery, Michael's Donuts, Dunkin' Donuts, all those kind of sweet tooth things. And then there might be another tab that is about fitness, because you just ate all that sweet stuff. You might want to click on that for the fitness tab, and you can see the different facilities to take advantage of that. And so it's something that we're working on. This section will also serve as a reminder to those who live and work here of all that is available to them. It will be quick and easy resource to use. I am very proud of what we are developing with our Young Professionals program. It is important we invest in young people so they are equipped to lead, but also to have a love for our community. Here to share more about the Chamber's Young Professionals Group is Senior Program Manager at Moog, Brian Troyer.
All right, welcome. Great to see all your faces here today. So I'm going to start with a quick training session, or maybe some information. I'm sure you all know what this is, right? A stress ball, if you can't see in the back there. So I was wondering the other day as I'm on a call, is there a right way and a wrong way to use this? And what I started thinking about was most people squeeze it and it makes you feel better, right? But what if you tried chucking it at somebody? Would that make you feel a little bit better? So I challenge you guys, next time you have some stress, maybe take this and chuck it at somebody. No, we do not condone violence at the Orrville area Young Professionals, but go ahead and hit the next slide there, Landry. One thing that we do condone is bringing a community of local leaders together. So what I want to talk about today is some of the things that we're doing, some of the things that we're excited about. And I'll remind you that what we're doing is inspiring, connecting, and growing young leaders. And I think it's working. We've had about 75 individuals since the start of the program attend different events and things like that. We're averaging about 20 to 30 people at each event, so I think we're making an impact. We also did want to mention that we changed the age requirement this year from 21 to 40 to 18 to 40. And one of the things I want to focus on today is we're trying to target a younger audience, and I'll go through that in a little bit here. But first off, thank you to all the sponsors. There's a lot of people, or a lot of companies up there, and a lot of people that have contributed over the last year and a half. So can't do it without you. As Dan mentioned, it takes a group of people to get something done, and appreciate all you guys and your help. So next slide. All right, some of the stuff that we did in the past year. We had Investing in Your Future, so there are again 3 individuals that helped out with that, giving some insight on what's going on financially, how you can prepare for the future a little bit better. We talked about preventing burnout and managing a healthy work-life balance. Dallas Steiner helped with that. And then Richard Lewin and Wilbert, they talked about attracting and retaining talent, another really good event. And then also being the best version of yourself, so some health tips from Lexi. So if you go to the next slide, we have a couple pictures you can share from those. just to give you a feel for what the events look like, what's going on. And then we also helped out at the golf outing this year, and we'll look forward to doing that again next year, Dan. So yeah, next slide. What do we got going on next year? Or coming up pretty soon here. February 24th, we're going to have a Leading Intentionally workshop with Jesse Walker, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. We're going to talk about mental health, financial health, and then what we're really excited about is a mini conference that we're going to do in August. Some of you may attended our first kickoff August of 21. It'll be similar to that, where we'll actually have a couple different speakers and look at some local leaders to come in and provide some insight. So the next slide, we're going to talk about the event coming up. So give a little plug here. February 24th, Jesse Walker is going to be talking about leading intentionally. So if you know young professionals in the area, 18 to 40 again, go on the website. You can register from there. If you have any questions, see Landry. She'll help you get set up. But we're really excited to have Jesse come in and speak. So next slide here. All right, OAYP 2023 initiatives. So the first one I already mentioned, the mini conference. One of the other things that we're really excited about is, I mentioned bringing stuff to younger kids or younger students. So right now we're focused 18 to 40. We want to expand that a little bit and give our young professional members an opportunity to volunteer and maybe mentor other individuals. So we actually are starting to work with Junior Achievement. I don't know if Tyler or Jan are here. Okay, there's Tyler, I see him. So if you want to stand up real quick, I want to give you a big thank you. Give Tyler a round of applause here. Thank you. He didn't know I was doing that, so thank you for that. So we're actually going to be talking at Norwayne and Dalton to middle schoolers and helping JA in some of those initiatives, things like developing personal brand, job hunting skills, researching potential careers for middle schoolers, how to create a resume, recognizing appropriate behavior for an interview, all things like that that I kind of wish I had when I was a middle schooler. So awesome job to JA, and we're excited to partner with you guys in helping do those things and volunteer. So the next slide, I'll talk about one more thing, and a lot of credit goes to Beth Gaubitz and Josh Nolan as part of our college and career readiness group at the Chamber. They've actually really set this up, but here again, the young professionals are going to hopefully partner with this program, and what it is 9th and 10th graders. So we talked about middle schoolers. There's a lot of programs for 11th and 12th graders as you get ready for college, but there's kind of a gap for 9th and 10th graders. So what we're going to be looking at doing is bringing some of these things, you can see on the slide, I'm not going to read it, but the 3 E's, enrollment and education, employment and apprenticeships, and enlistment. And college isn't for everybody. There's some folks that might thrive in a different industry that doesn't need college, or maybe the military is better suited for you. Those aren't bad things. I know when I was in school, if you didn't go to college, you were almost looked at as a loser. I don't want that to be the case, right? College is not for everybody. It's a great thing. I'm not saying it's not, but we want to make sure that we're tailoring it to the person, right? And not just a shove it down your throat kind of approach. So really excited about it. Hoping to touch some young people's minds and hearts and souls and go forward with that. So last slide here, Landry, is just a big thank you to our steering committee. We have a couple new members this year. Ashley and Reagan have joined, so really excited to have them on board, and looking forward to an exciting year. So if you have questions, I'll be around afterwards, kind of hanging out up in this corner. Again, if you have other questions after this, Landry will be happy to help you guys out. So thank you to everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian. And by the way, speaking of JA, we've been really pushing a lot the big Inspire program that's coming on, and it's it's an online experience as well as in-person job fair that's coming up in March. And just keep looking at our website. We got all sorts of information about it at orrvillechamber.com, and we're pleased about that. Well, as a chamber, we do our best to be responsive to the needs of our community and our members. It has been a considerable amount of time since the Chamber last conducted a wages and benefits survey for our area. A lot has changed since then with the effects of COVID and a very different workforce. Members are wanting to be sure that they are in alignment with the current environment. So for the past few months, I have been seeking the input towards putting together a new wages and benefits survey, which will be distributed at the start of March, if not sooner, with the hope of providing the results to chamber members in April. Now, this survey will be more focused on the manufacturing end of jobs, but there is the potential of providing a second survey later in the year for jobs that are outside of the manufacturing segment. Of course, responses to the survey will remain confidential, but this report will fill a real serious void of information since it will be very specific to the chamber area, and it won't be one of those real larger regionalized reports, so it'll be really targeted to us and the businesses in our area. So that will be more helpful information for you to have. So excited to be able to provide that for you. In response to a request to allow those who are no longer employed an opportunity to join in the work of the chamber, we have designed a new individual membership level. Now, this chamber membership is not meant for current business owners or civic organizations because there are already opportunities for those who fall into those categories. This new membership level is for retired individuals who may have owned a business before and they want to continue to support the chamber as a way of bettering our community. Those who join at the individual membership level will receive chamber newsletters, e-blasts, and invitations to chamber events. I am pleased to announce our very first individual membership members are here today, James and Donna Dale Davis. Thank you for joining us today. If you know of anyone who would be interested in being an individual member, please have them contact myself or Membership Services Coordinator Michelle Hedberg. Well, I just shared with you something new that we're doing. I'm excited to share with you something from the past that we're bringing back this year. You have probably seen the cat's meows of Leadership Orrville graduating classes on our information table as you came in here this afternoon. Well, after a lengthy absence, we will be bringing back Leadership Orrville this year. Our leadership, yes, you can apply for that. Our leadership program is unique in that it will not only develop leadership skills with those who attend, but we're going to focus on building the sense of community amongst both the students and for the entire Orrville area. This chamber is committed to investing in the people of the area that we serve. We want people to be proud of living here, and if they have to leave for a period of time, that they'll want to come back to help us to continue to move ahead together. I hope as I shared with you some of what the Chamber is doing this year, that you are as excited as I am. I didn't even get to share with you about our Networking Empowers Women Roundtable, our Chamber Coffee Connections, our work with the Safety Council, and the Chamber Business Series, which will include a session that many businesses have told us that they are concerned about, which is cybersecurity. So we're going to have a session about that coming up in March for you. There's a lot going on, and the best way to keep up with your chamber is to regularly visit our website, orrvillechamber.com. It's simple to remember. Now you will notice that I did not spend a lot of time on facts and figures in this report. Now, don't get me wrong. As a former director of development, I understand the importance of numbers and how they support the mission of an organization. In fact, your membership and sponsorship are greatly appreciated because it's crucial to empowering the chamber to do even more for our community. However, I wanted to make clear that this chamber is committed to being actively involved in our community and supporting others who are working to make our community even greater. What I hope you got from today's presentation is that the Orrville Area Chamber is a chamber that's doing things, not just talking about them. We're providing resources, networking opportunities, and training sessions to move all of us ahead together. Thank you for joining in these efforts and for being a part of the Orrville Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.